if you already have Visual Studio, that's good. If you don't, then go ahead and download the Express version if you don't want to buy it, or you can go buy it online. It's pretty expensive though, so yeah. Okay, so once you've loaded up Visual Studio, or Visual Basic, whichever one you have, they're both the same, I think. Open a new project. We're just going to be naming this Properties Tutorial. Windows Form Application. Okay, so you'll come up with this little form like this. If you've never opened Visual Studio, then you'll be like, oh, this kind of looks like a window. Yeah, that's what we're going to be learning if you didn't know that's what Visual Studio was. So go ahead and resize it to whatever you want. We're just going to be doing the properties, so it don't matter. If you click on the form, which is the window, form, it'll open up these properties right here. Okay, so where was I? Sorry, I had to stop and go somewhere, but obviously you don't know that because I paused it. Okay, anyway, so here you'll get this form, like this thing right here for properties. I mean, you already had it before, but more things are going to show up once you click on the form. Accessible description. This is pretty much a description of your program or your accessibility. But you don't need to worry about this, so you can just skip this. The back color can be modified to anything you like. If you just change it, you'll be able to tell what I'm talking about. See? This is black now. I tend to just have the background image. You could also make a background image, pretty much self-explanatory. If you want to make like a custom background image, then figure out the dimensions by going down to size, which is under layout, and the size for this is 628 by 321. That's width by height. And yeah, well, we're not going to be doing that later because that's like a Photoshop tutorial. Anyway, background image, you can browse for one. You click local resources, or you could just click import down here. Find under your pictures something here. Okay, so that should make the background like this. Okay, so you get the point, and if you don't, then you can leave a reply or a comment below. Okay, background image layout. You can tile it, that is only if the image is small, like, say this. See, it's under tile. If you do none, it'll just have one picture of a bee. Tile, center, stretch, which I really don't like the stretch because for small pictures it makes it pixelate if it's really small pictures. Or zoom, which pretty much doesn't stretch it out to match the size, it just zooms it up to match the height. Cursor, you can change what the cursor looks like. So let's show you that. By the way, if you ever press this play button, you can see what it's going to look like once you're done. See? You can make your own custom cursor, and it'll, as you can see, it has this little thing right here. So, that's pretty cool, huh? And, yep. Let's see, I think we can actually, nope, we can't bring in our own cursor, I don't think. But that's good that they give you a selection to at least work with. And I just got a text message. Arrow. Okay. So what we have here is the font. The font is used when you like put in, say, a label. A label is just a word. I'll just edit this. You might not know how to do this, but actually that's not what it does. It changes the font to what this title for the form is. So let's do, I think that's what it changes. Okay, never mind. I have no idea what that does. A font on a form. Okay, so I just went back a couple times. For color is the front color. Yeah, 4 exactly. Well, you can't see it because I have this picture in front of it. But you could test that out if you don't have a picture. I'm just gonna delete this, so it'll be easier. And you can get a custom one. You can make that red or white. Ooh, that's just a little too much. I still... Yeah, this is right. White smoke. Okay, so... I'm not sure what this does. I don't pay attention to that, because it's never really that important. But it's just good to know that you have it, right? No. Okay, so form border style is the size, which means that would you want them to be able to size it like, hold on, I'll give you an example of a sizable program. See other sizes, you can make it smaller or you can make it bigger. Do you want it sizable? Because for some it's just like certain, sometimes you don't want it sizable because it has words on it and you don't want it to be all sized down to one little icon up here. But you can make it to where the form border style is none. There is no form style. There is no outer edges. Usually don't prefer that. Fixed single, which makes it to where you can't change how big it is. Fixed 3D. I've never used this one, but I guess it makes it 3D, and you can't size it. Fixed dialogue, which, I'm not sure what it does, but I have no idea. Doesn't look like much of a change. Just looks like it has not sizable. But anyway. Oh, you can make it to where it's just like a dialogue box, like a message box or something. Okay. Sizable, which is like a normal one. Fixed tool window. I don't know what I did wrong, but it's not doing something right. Well, let's just try a new form. Okay, so I had to restart because it was all messed up. So we we're down to the form, border, style. The main ones are sizable and fixed single. So sizable and non-sizable. Right to left, there's no yes or inherent. Right to left layout, false or true. The text changes what's up here. So if you want to change the title to like properties tutorials, and that's there. Use wait cursor, false. That means like when you're waiting, you know how it has like that circle, I think. Yeah, it's false and true. Allow drop. Okay, so now we're in the behavior category. So allow drop, true and false. I never really use any of these, but I'm going through them all. Auto validate, enable prevent focus change, which is, I would just leave it at that. Context menu strip, you'll be able to use that if you add a menu strip, which is this right here. Okay. Double buffered, I just leave that false. I don't know what enabled is for. It indicates whether the control is enabled. IME mode determines the IME, which is input method editor, status of the object when selected. The data is the application settings, property binding, location, text, blah blah blah. You probably won't ever be able to ever use these, like I said before. Sorry for making such a long videos on just the freaking properties, but still. The name. Oh, okay. So when you're into the coding, which is this, you could either do form 2, dot height or something. Then if you don't want it to be form 2, then you could change it to name it like properties tutorial. Dang, I'm sucking. P2, and you could do that, but I don't like that because it's long. Form 2 just is so much easier. Okay, so the language is set to default, which is English. Localizable, true or false. It decides if the localizable code will be generated for an object that's in the project. Locked means that you can't move anything or resize anything like what we had up there. Change any size of the control. Leave focus alone. Layout. Here's what you're going to be using quite a lot. Auto scale mode is for the font. You can make it to where the font gets bigger and it doesn't get pixelated and stuff like that. Hold on, let me check my time. Okay, but I gotta go. Watch part 2.